My name is Jason Mock, and I'm the Assistant Director for Educational Innovation at the Center for Innovation in Teaching and Learning. And together we help campus and develop a lot of online courses and programs to service students here on campus, students of the University of Illinois who are not on campus but are at a distance, and then also open learners anywhere around the world. I've been passionate about education since I was a high school student even. I took on some private tutoring for a couple of trombone students when I was in high school. I would teach the fifth graders, how to play trombone, and what I really got from that experience was just that love for education and helping others. We don't necessarily focus exclusively on online, though that's a vast majority of the work that we do at CITL. But we want to help faculty from across campus in reaching their goals, or perhaps their department or program's goals, of reaching more students in more and different innovative ways. So in the case of online courses, what we can do is we can provide a very similar, equally academically rigorous experience to students who aren't necessarily in the face-to-face classroom. Now, they may not be in the face-to-face classroom because they're here on campus but their schedules are too busy. They may not be in the face-to-face classroom because they are on the other side of the country or even on the other side of the world. But our goal is to give them just as good of an educational experience. And what that looks like when you're taking an online course, there's a few different ways to go about it. But one is, you can imagine logging into a website. We call it a learning management system, or LMS for short. And in that LMS, in a given course, you would see your syllabus, the reading assignments. You would start off in week 1, where the instructor would have posted online specific readings, perhaps even an online quiz, maybe even some online group activities that you need to work together with your classmates to do. And technology today allows for that collaboration between students to go very smoothly. And so our job as instructional designers is to help the faculty members construct their ideas around what that online experience should look like. For many faculty, they've never seen an online course, so they too have this same question of what does an online course really look like. So our job is to explain that. We often show examples, and then to help the faculty member think outside of what they believe can be done online. So 5 years is essentially a lifetime when you talk about online education and many technology-related fields. So in 5 years, we really have accomplished a lot. And I would say one of the most satisfying accomplishments from my perspective is the way in which the University of Illinois has been able to successfully partner with Coursera. Coursera is a massive open online course platform provider, or MOOC provider. The University of Illinois is the first university to offer through Coursera fully online degree programs. In fact, we just announced our 3rd fully online degree program, so we have 3 out of the first 4 fully online degree programs in partnership with Coursera. So much has changed, and I think there are a lot of reasons for that. At a basic level, technology has evolved. The internet speeds that kind of are common for people have significantly enhanced in the last 10 years. And what I really think is important is not so much that technology has advanced, but we got over a certain hump where faculty started to realize, hey, I can do what I do in my face-to-face classroom. I can do that online as well. And so what we saw in 5 to 10 years ago range was these early adopter faculty who were willing to take risks, willing to try out new things, and in doing so they actually were proving that online education works. The other thing I would add to that is because we did have such a good momentum building of online education around the 5 to 10 year ago mark, many more technology firms started investing in education-specific tools, technology tools. So online education, above all, provides flexibility. And flexibility sounds like an optional thing or like a luxury item, but in reality, I think flexibility is necessary in today's day to provide students that anytime, anywhere access that they need. Flexibility is not just fluff, it's not optional, it's critical for the people who do not live here or for the people who cannot afford a full-time education experience to be able to have education while maintaining their place of where they live or maintaining a full-time job or other time commitments. The faculty member is no longer saying, hey, I want to teach online. The faculty member is now being told, you will teach online. And I think that's a challenge. The faculty champions are great. They help spread the word about how successful online is. But when someone is not yet interested in teaching online, it's very hard for them to be as passionate about it as those early adopters. Even today, there are a lot of technology tools that we use in creating online education, but some of those tools still require an expert, someone from my team, someone from our media team, to use those tools on behalf of the faculty member. More and more faculty can learn how to use, say, a learning management system on their own, and many do a good job with it, but there's still enough involved, especially in, say, media production, where it benefits the instructor to have that team of experts to work on their behalf. So one day, if we can solve the challenge of making the technology both financially more affordable, some of these tools are still very expensive, and also technically more viable. Some of these tools have a very high learning curve. If we can make it very intuitive and very affordable, then I think that the faculty would be more empowered to create online education on their own. So indeed, because of that anytime, anywhere opportunity, students today do have hundreds of choices of where to take a given online course from. And as long as each institution is providing unique value, then I think they give a good option for students to consider. But how does a student know what's the benefit of this institution over that institution? Today I'm familiar with a website like Class Central, which allows students to come in and rate courses that they've taken from, specifically in this case, MOOC providers like Coursera and edX. So indeed, one thing that we've learned is that in order to be successful, an online student has to have a greater degree of self-motivation than a normal student, a face-to-face student might have. Sometimes that motivation comes because of those life factors. I'm motivated to take this online course because I work full-time, I have 3 kids at home, and it's my only way of getting education. That's very self-motivating. Others are motivated because, well, I just put down a bunch of money, and if I don't work hard at this course, I will have wasted that money. So there are different reasons that people are motivated, and I think it's important for anyone who's considering online to ask themselves, what would motivate me? And again, that's going to be different from every person. So the short answer is no. I don't think that online can or should completely replace traditional education. I think it really comes down to who we're asking the question of. There are many people for whom a face-to-face education is not only helpful but important. It might give them some more life skills, interacting with their peers, interacting with their instructors in a different way, in a face-to-face way that provides them with life skills that they need. So I look forward to the day where there are the technology barriers and the financial barriers to extremely high quality, high fidelity learning experiences can make the online experience literally the same and probably a lot better than the face-to-face one. At that point, I might change my answer, but today I still think that online education is very important, especially in a number of useful situations that we talked about earlier about flexibility in time and space. But I also don't think residential education is going away anytime soon. So to me, education is a means to an end, not an end itself. And that means in order to answer the question, what is a good education, you have to ask the question, what is the end that you're striving after? And that's a very personal question. I don't think that you can answer that on behalf of everyone in the world in the same way. So, for example, a lot of people have an eye toward a certain career. And so in order to get to that point, I want to be a neurosurgeon, I want to be a lawyer. You have to go through a number of steps, including education. You have to understand the concepts, you have to practice them, and so forth. So for those folks, education is about establishing oneself in a new content area, in a new career area. So for me, education is about helping people identify what path they need to go through and then allowing them to customize that path in order to meet their needs.